Hey guys, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Building Empires Network. You got your host, Andrea Cruz, and Miss Christina Franco.
Good morning.
Yeah, and today we have a very, very, very special guest. Not only is he my road dog, best friend, realtor, helps me with a lot of my headaches, but also does, he knows how to do realty, doing the realtor, flipping, and now he's into new development.
Right.
Billy Martinez.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Yeah, so we do a little bit of everything. New construction, flipping, and realtor. I've been working with Andrea, with Christina a lot, and we've just been touching every avenue. But I think right now we're focusing on new development. I partnered up with a builder here in Houston, and we opened a construction company. So we're going to be focusing more on the new development and strictly for investors. No retail stuff, just strictly investing stuff.
Yeah. Now, Billy, can you tell us, how did you get started in real estate? How everything started from the beginning.
Okay. Let's see. Let's go all the way back. So actually, I got started out in this area. My brother-in-law, back in 2015, he told me about real estate. Now, I was a sales manager, and he was like, "Hey, man, I just made like $40,000 on this wholesale." I was like, "What's wholesaling?" He said, "Well, let me show you." So we started doing deals, and we did our first deal, and I think we made about $60,000. So to me, I was like, "Oh man, we're gonna make a bunch of money forever, right?" Second deal we did, we made about $100,000 on that one. That was a wholesale deal, and that's kind of when I stopped working. I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna dedicate everything to wholesaling." And we never got those deals again, but it started. We started building a wholesaling network of people, and then from there, I started noticing that the people I was selling the properties to was making all this money. I was like, wait, I know construction. I'm like, why didn't I just do these things? So that's where the construction kind of started. In 2016, we did our first rehab. We're now about 112 houses we flipped.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm very low key, but
he is.
He really is.
I'm not out there. I think I've probably done a deal with everybody. Every wholesaler has brought me a deal, and then we close. We don't play. Andrea knows if we're gonna buy, we're gonna close. We're not gonna try to re-wholesale it, and if we do, we buy it and do what we got to do with it, but we make sure it gets closed. That's one of the biggest things that I'm seeing now in the industry, that there's so many people taking these deals and putting them out there, and I get a blast from you, and it comes from like 6 different people as well. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like that before. I mean, you remember, right? It was just more like, hey, I got a deal. Everybody respected each other, and it went, but
it is like that.
Nowadays.
It's gotten worse. That's why now I'm just like very limited on how I blast the deals. Yeah, and one of the good things about Billy that I really like is that he knows about everything. So he's also like a realtor, and like he helps me list all my properties. He walked me through my first owner finance deal, like how to structure it on the back end with paperwork. So he's a really good person to actually reach out, like, hey, if just to work as a realtor,
right?
I know we probably already keep you busy, but hey, it's always room for more.
Yeah, and it's funny, the realtor thing came to supplement the income of wholesaling.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm gonna stop wholesaling, but the realtor part got really big. I mean, thank God we have a lot of like your deals and other people's deals and our own deals, and we're just building a network, and we're actually trying to grow that team and be able to focus on it. My wife actually does all the back office, so I'm low key. She's really low key.
There's always that wife.
There's always the wife
behind that man. So there's always that wife.
She does all the paperwork, and very limited people know her. I mean, Christina Castillo knows her. They have a good relationship.
I've never even seen his wife.
I feel jealous.
Yeah, Olivia.
Christina got to meet Olivia. See,
no, Olivia, her daughter was telling me, she's like, "Are you sure you have a wife?" Yeah, so we're here to help. We really like to work with investors more than anything, even on purchasing. I kind of want to start opening it up to people that want to learn, where we help you, we find the deal. We can rehab it for you. Yeah,
for sure.
It's tough though, because new investors, they don't understand the headache that comes with it.
Nope.
But you sent me a guy, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Sergio, and
oh yeah,
that was awesome because he understood the process. He basically was like, do what you have to
Do
do.
what you have, and that's
And his
those are unicorns.
Yeah, those are unicorns.
Those are
And
unicorns.
his house was awesome, and it
Yeah.
came out really nice. I mean, like everything I told him, he did.
Yeah.
And you know, I was telling him the way he bought it, I was like, hey, refinance that, take that money and do it again.
Yeah.
And he's doing that now.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I mean, people, if you listen, and I think that's what's helped me. I've listened to people so much, and people think I wear a lot of hats, but I think they're just strategies, right?
Yeah.
They're just like
And
different
he does
strategies.
listen. He always has to listen.
Yeah.
But one main thing about Billy, even though he wears a lot of hats, every hat that he's worn, he's able to take it off and not throw it across the table, but hang that hat. If you get what I'm trying to say, meaning he's not the kind of guy that just throws the hat down and says, forget it. He literally accomplishes his purpose, and then he's able to hang that hat, just like that deal that I sold this gentleman. And we all network together, and the network's important because I knew that Billy did construction. And so I told the guy, look, go ahead and call Billy. And he called Billy, and Billy was able to do the construction. And like I said, when you deal with somebody who has worn the hats and is able to utilize the hats when needed and hang the hat and not burn any bridges, the thing is that Billy was able to tell him the one important thing as a landlord, a coming up landlord, is cash that money out.
Yeah.
Don't leave your money in there. You know, when you drive that fancy old antique car and you got 50,000 in it, would you really want somebody else to drive it and trust it and enjoy it, and your 50,000 is sitting in it? No, you have to look at the houses the same way. Your renters can actually be the people paying the note that you owe for the when you cashed your money out. And that's what Billy told him to do. So the guy bought it. It was an old house that was my grandma's, and she sent Billy the video. It looks so pretty. That's the thing. And it's those relationships. And I think that's what really makes a person like Billy feel better and want to deal with people like that, because it was an emotional tie, because people get tied to these properties. You got to know when you own the property or when the property owns you. Right. And at that point, we've had that property for so long, it owned us. We couldn't rent it for what we needed to get. It was in the family for so long. And so my mom decided, you know what? I'm not going to fix it anymore. She was going to do all the leveling and everything. I said, Mom, just get rid of it. She got rid of it at a good price to where Sergio was able to get a good contractor. And I mean, he went in there within 45 days? 45 days. 45 days. We sold it to him. 45 days later, he's able to put a renter in it and cash out refi.
Nice.
That is how you need to leverage out your money, and you need to organize your timeline. Yeah, you got to have that timeline.
The best part, I only went there twice because my guys know what they're doing already. You know, just go check on them. We have a weekly meeting and actually a daily meeting. Yeah. And that's it. You know, every 40, I went there twice. It was a real good outcome on his.
Yeah. And so what Billy not instructed him, because by law, we're not supposed to instruct nobody, but he shared his experience. Right. And his experience is, hey, bro, don't leave your money there. Put your renter in, get your money out, and now you have money for the next project while that person is paying off that debt. And then your portfolio is growing. 5 years from now, he can cash it out again if the value goes up and there's equity in it, and just keep doing that. And you know, that is your retirement. You could do that literally with 5 houses and be fine.
Yeah. Or umbrella everything.
Yes.
You know, just have one big payment.
And one big payment.
At that point, you become a business, and you can sell the whole.
There you go.
And I don't
see.
Yeah, and see, that's what I love. Yes, you know, we went to go walk a property, and I like to take him because I like to share my ideas with him, and then he'll tell me like, yes, no, don't do this, do this. Yeah. So he kind of like mentors you as well. Like, hey, you know what? I got this deal. What do you think is the best exit strategy? And he'll tell you, and then do this and do that. So he's like very knowledgeable, and he also like, if he's gonna work with you and like construction wise, he gives you better ideas. Hey, you should do this, and then whenever you refi or you get your money, do this, do that. So it's like the whole package, you know, because he knows what he's doing. So he'll tell you this is the best way to do it, or you're gonna get your money. The most you'll get out of your money is doing it this way. So like, hey, if you guys are new to it and just want some guidance, this is a great guy to call. Yeah. I know I probably shouldn't even be putting him out there.
He's busy.
I know.
He's like, you just made a new hat.
He deserves it. He works so hard all the time. And he's someone definitely to have in your contacts. you know. I call him.
Or if you want to sell me your property.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you want to sell, you call me.
Yeah.
Then she adds a fee.
And then, you know, and then I'll sell it to him, you know, but it all works out. But then he can kind of hope you flip it or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Or net listing, the Novation net listing, or however you want to call it. He helps with that too. So it's always good to go to somebody that knows the market. And I will tell you, because I had an appraiser, they sent an appraiser out to one of my properties, and he was from the Woodlands, and he looked at my property on Chapman 77009 right there in Hardy Yards or whatever it is now. Back then for me it was the hood. Now it's Hardy Yards. But anyway, those things right there, she said it was 298,000. So I got somebody from the neighborhood to reappraise it, because you can dispute your appraisals. Right. It's hard, but you can try. So then I got a private appraisal, and it came back 400 flat. And we were trying to hit 399. So I got $1 more than what I thought, but it was not $100,000 less. So you want to do that. And knowing somebody that knows the market, real estate, flipping, the most important thing, somebody that knows the construction per square foot. Right. Somebody's going to say, I could do it, for 100,000, but it's a 200 square foot home. Come on, let's divide that up. Yeah. It's stupid. It's not going to work. You're going to be under budget, and you're going to be over budget, and you're not going to finish your project. So that's why you need somebody with that experience. And that's why we really wanted to bring Billy on, because yes, we all wholesale. Yes, we all do a lot of things. We have all kinds of different areas. But when it's somebody that has touched in the build, the construction, the wholesale, the sell, all those things, I mean, I know that Billy's been that all in one. Yeah.
Well, I think people label themselves, I'm a wholesaler, I'm this, I'm that. I think everything should be a strategy out.
There you go.
Everything should be like,
sure.
Pick up the hats, right? Like, okay, today I'm a wholesaler because this is what I'm gonna do with this. Today I'm gonna list this thing. So when I started, some guy told me that, he said, hey, the most important thing you need to know is the construction. And he's a construction guy here. He probably watches too. He's a construction guy here. And he told me that. He said, look, know the construction. He has a construction company, does what I do. Very low key guy. Right. Older guy. He's been around for a long time, probably retired now. And I think that's kind of what stuck to me. Like, hey, if I know the construction, I know everything else around it.
Right. Yeah. Right. It's really a lot. A lot of people, when you're just wholesaling, yes, there's not really much to it, but wholesale. Get your money and go. But if you're really trying to get that little bit of extra, which is like Andrea and the hoteling and the Novation, because she can pull out that extra $20,000, $30,000. And sometimes it's needed, because you might not get your next wholesale deal, for a month or two, because it takes time with title. Title's important. Title's very important. How fast they're going to close. Are they going to clear it? Make sure you're not going to get a claim on that title. All that different stuff is so important.
Everything you just mentioned, I got.
We need to interview her. She has everything.
It's because it happens. You need to be very careful with the people that you buy from, because who knows? I have one, that they came back, the sister came, and there was a sister, and he's like, I ain't got no sisters. And now there's a sister. And we're like, shit. So we're just waiting, and that is the waiting game at that point. And then you learn what happens after that. Right. But being with that is, you have to take care of your title company too. We have to really check out and make sure that title company doesn't get these claims, because who are we without our title company? Who are we without them? Shit. Some people close stuff without title, and then later on down the line, when you really want to get a loan on it, you can't, because it's not a clear title, because it's not even yours. So it's important.
Yeah, that's key to title. Christina, we work a lot with her, and she's looked at deals that I'm about to close with no title. She says, don't do it. Yeah. I ran it for you, and this came up. And you don't get that unless you have that relationship. No one's going to be like, hey, let me look at this title for you. You have to build that relationship and build the team, to work with.
I know. Shout out to Christina.
Shout out, Christina.
You guys, have
headaches.
Yeah. I know. And Olivia. Yeah. And Olivia.
Angel too.
And Angel. Yeah. Olivia will put your ads in your place real quick. She'll put your place.
She's from Spring Branch. So,
yeah. No, but it's a really good, I think it's been a good team. I think it's a flow. It makes things easy, because when I sold the property to that guy, Billy was already dealing with it's a circle. That's your network. Your network doesn't always have to be 1,000 people. You just have to have those trustworthy people. And I think we've built that relationship. Right here, you're probably seeing a true powerhouse.
The Three Musketeers.
Yeah. Yeah, and then branching out to other cities with people who are powerhouse out there too.
Yeah.
Don't place your feet in one place.
Right.
You have to be able to branch out. I think that's very important, and know that everybody. You have to learn how to listen, and you have to be teachable, because if you're not teachable and you think you know it all, then you're just going to stay in your place. So come on, Billy, teach us some more.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let me ask you this, Billy. Now, if for someone that's watching, that's going to get into flipping or, all of that, what are the first steps, or what are the first things that they need to look at when they're looking at a property?
I think they need to see the construction costs, because with everything going up,
Yeah.
people are wholesaling.
Yeah.
They're underestimating the construction costs right now.
Right.
Because we're using old numbers.
Right.
And then now they know the market, because now we're in a different market, right?
Right.
You can't use comps from last year and think you're going to still have that comp,
Right.
So I think really know that property, know the market, and then know the construction costs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then
Nice.
don't just believe it though.
Yeah.
Like take my bid, look at the material, look at my costs, and go to Home Depot if you want to, actually go to Home Depot and look at the costs.
Martin's Hardware.
Martin's.
What? Wait, that's my next part.
Okay, that's his next part.
Go Home Depot, look at your costs, and then hey, this is what they're charging.
Yeah, okay, now we can compare.
Now let's compare, because we order a lot from Martin. So actually, I just sent her a whole bid for a new construction.
You need to send it to me.
I'll send it to you.
She wants to get paid for the sale.
Yeah,
send it to me. I want to start getting in there too.
She's gonna say, "Hey, Franco, I need commission."
What's up, man?
Yeah, because I mean, if you don't know it, you can compare everywhere. Because I mean, you guys are very competitive, so it's hard to kind of just be okay. I'm gonna beat these prices.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you got to know your market, know your construction costs, and I mean, I can look at it for you if you want. Send me the bid. I'll probably beat it, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I think, and I like the way Billy does his work. He's very realistic. He's not an overbuild. And where I say overbuild is that I have overbuilt, and I want to share this because it's very important. Because Billy knows this house. It's a house that we were selling it off of 43rd. Yeah. That house was on the market when the high hit. When the inflation went sky high, before everything started coming down. It was at 1.1, right?
Yeah.
It was listed at 1.1 million, and we just barely got it under contract, and I think it's going for like 785. I was like, shit. But it's not bad, because when I bought this house, I paid way under 300, way under 250. I paid cheap. But the thing is that I still have at least, some good equity in there, but I was really aiming for that. That goal. Run. Yeah, that home run.
It happened to her because she stole that property. So I found out later. I was trying to get that property, and I was bidding with someone. It was her.
It was me. We didn't even know each other at the time. Too funny. Yeah, and that house was a small little house, and we're known. Yeah, we're known. It's not the rehab; it's the square footage. That's what it is. Under a certain roof, if it's 1,000 square feet, you're not going to get more than what it is per square foot. Now, if you go into the garage,
Andrea,
or whatever, and you add a little bit, that's where I get paid. My $175 per square foot, and I add on $195 per square foot. So that's what you have to look at. That is the difference. I mean, you agree?
Yeah.
It's not in the rehab. You could put $10,000 cabinets or a $10,000 refrigerator, Sub-Zeros. You're not going to get that money back for that stuff. You're not. You're going to get it. You're going to get your money back and your costs and whatever you put on top of it when you add your additions. I think that's where I've been able to get my money from, is the additions. And I think on that one property, I think we did overbuild. And we were going to make it a personal property. So we try to make everything a personal property. But
every house they own, they want to make it their own.
I want to make it my own. But so with that being said, you have to watch not to overbuild. Keep it simple. Keep it clean. That's where Andrea comes in with her hotel. Yeah. She just goes in there, paint. Very simple, because it's a woman that makes a home. And some people can get something regular painted. You don't have to worry about, custom paint. They're going to go and they're going to paint it. They're going to go and they're going to probably change the countertop or the tile. You let them do that.
Yeah.
You don't go do that.
I keep it very simple. And it's funny. He's like, how much you want to sell this house again? I'm like, for this price. He's like, okay. Hey, but it sells.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Not no more this year. Last year, man, we were.
Last
year was a good year.
We both made money.
Yes, it was. It was nice. But, we're still there. It's just slow and it's not. You can't really get it as much.
Oh, okay. Real quick, guys. Caroline's on the question. So if you do have questions, you have Billy here. Go ahead and type in your questions in the comments, and we'll answer them. What was that
Billy's
comment?
Information out there.
Yeah, put Billy Martinez on there. Hashtag Billy Martinez.
Sorry, wifey.
Yeah.
Trying to say
do y'all have questions, Alma? Because we have visitors in here from San Antonio and from here. Miss Sonia Madrano and Miss Alma Flores. Y'all got questions?
I have questions for her.
Hey, we're gonna get questions for her.
Well, I have a question
Yeah.
for the land development.
Okay.
So why don't we maybe try to get her in here too, so they can talk about land development?
Yeah.
You want to?
But what's your come on, get over here, come on. Oh, we're bringing somebody out.
Go ahead. Can I walk? I'm gonna bring him up here.
You want to sit over here with me?
And I need to change it up all.
And we don't ever do this part, but hey, we got it. We got her here. She came all the way from San Antonio. So this is Alma Flores. She's known for a lot of multifamily in the mobile home parks, and that is badass. Because I'm gonna tell you what. Yeah. You can freaking kill it if you know how to develop a land. Because where in the hell can you buy a $10,000 door? Doors means when you go and you buy a house, that's considered one door. When you go and buy a multifamily of 10, that's 10 doors. So basically, what we try to do buying multifamily, we try to stay under 30, 40,000 if we can. And if we can't get that 30, 40,000, now everything's what, 78? Yeah. 77,000. But if you can buy, yeah, there you go, even 100,000. But if you could get a mobile home and start your mobile home park and buy a mobile home, whether it's a repo or whatever, 20, 30, 40,000, shit, it's already got everything. And you just go and plop it, and that's it. And that's badass. Is she in? Come this way. All right. Are we in yours too? All right, we're in here, and then there we go. We're right there. I see us all. All right, guys. So if you have questions about mobile home park development, if you have questions about rentals, understanding doors and construction, you have questions, you need to ask them because we're right here.
I was thinking, in the meanwhile, she can kind of tell us, break down what it is. Like, hey, if I'm going to do a mobile home park, what will be the first step that you need to do something like that?
Well, actually, for the mobile home parks, it's better if you get one that is already there, already licensed. So you go and get the mom and pop ones. And so the ones that we have got, they are creative. Like we get a more owner finance, and that's how it works. And you usually get them like outside city limits.
Yeah,
we're lucky to have Houston one like inside city limits. Like we're with
that connection for the sewage.
Yes, we have
and all that stuff.
Sewer and water.
Okay, so. And the thing is a lot of people out of the city limits, they're doing septic, so you're always having to clean that out. And then you have wells, which when people overuse washer and dryers, you could tell them not to have it, and they do. Those wells, they get burnt out or overused, or they flood. So I know because I lived on a well one time, and we just had to move. It was just so bad. I was horrible. And then people get aerobic systems. And can you push that thing right there? Aerobic systems. To tell you what an aerobic system is, a lot of people say, oh my God, but it's got an aerobic system. That's just shitty water just spreading out, so if you could get a mobile home park in a city limits, that's badass. Yeah, but out of the city limits, it's still your call. It's good.
So whenever you get like a mobile home park, do you have to get different septics for each mobile home, or is it just for one?
Well, we have right now in New Braunfels, Texas, that we're on septic, so it's limited to what you can attach to it. And so in New Braunfels, we have only 7 spaces, and we have space for 30 if we have septic. But development is right; they're doing new houses. Yeah. It's just a street away, so I can hold it. I pay very bien poquito.
Yeah, she got it very, very low cost.
Low
Yeah.
cost, and I'm gonna hold it and wait until city sewer it's available. Clean the old septic area, and tap to the sewer, and then add 30 spaces to it.
And see what she's smart at what she's doing, because she's buying something that is already generating an income. There's people that want to start doing this mobile home park from scratch. I know that guy Otwell, Alex Otwell, he does a lot of mobile home parks, but I mean, I know that he has started from scratch, but the way that she does it, and it's like they say, if there's a problem, you don't get rid of it, you fix it. So build on top of that. It's so much easier to buy. It's like if you buy a business, when you go and you try to start a restaurant, you're not going to open for about 6, 7, 8 months to 2 years.
Right.
But if you go buy an existing restaurant, people are like, no, I don't want to buy their headaches. No, you change it because the grease traps are there. The air filter, the air filtration's there, everything is there. You just have to implement. And so I think implementation is so important, and that's what she does. And so if you could take any information from that, I would really try to look for something that's there and build on it. And you may pay a little bit more for something that's funky, but you cannot pay for the time you are going to save for something that's already there.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about that mobile home park, and all this I learned because I listen to a lot of podcasts and to a lot of free education like this also, and also I go to masterminds. But one of my mentors, his name is Daniel Chadmore. Daniel Chadmore from Propelio. And so he always tell us to fix a problem for somebody else. So this mobile home park that we acquire in New Braunfels, we acquired like creative, literally. Like we got the contract in April of last year. The seller was ready to do it, but they had to wait for the 1031 exchange property to be ready. So I wanted to lock the property on the price that we had agreed. So I talked to my attorney. I made an offer to this gentleman. He was collecting $1,000 a month in rent because it was family living in some of the mobile homes, they were unoccupied. And so I talked to my attorney. She prepared an offer for him. We leased the property until he was ready. So we closed in September of last year. So we leased the property. We took care of maintenance. We paid him $1,000. I had to put like $400 out of pocket every month for some other expenses that we had there. And whenever he was ready, we closed on it. So what we're doing here is we are providing a solution. Be a problem solver, help other people that they just want to get rid of this mobile home park or this property, this piece of land that they're just paying taxes on it. So if you ask, you'll get what you need. So now we own it. And it's amazing.
It's true what she says about being able to solve. So we have the property we're looking at in Katy. I told you guys about. We're going to develop some apartments there, but we're asking them for a 36-month option period. Right. So sometimes you got to pitch things that they're not going to make no money. For 3 years. Yeah. But that gives us time to get all of our stuff together and everything. So
how does that work?
Be creative.
Yeah, they're. I mean, they don't need it. To them, they're like, well, it's going to sit there. So they know that there's a deadline, right?
Right.
That 36-month comes, they get paid. Yeah. Versus it's sitting there and there's no commitment. You're not making anything, So
that's interesting.
Let me tell you something about option periods. Option periods are very important to ask for. Landowners or sellers are like, well, you said you were going to buy it. Yes, but I'd like to exercise the option because that option period gives you the control to still sell it. And I will tell you that I exercise a lot of lease options because of the fact that if I'm going to buy a property, because I'm buying properties in the millions, like buildings in the millions, but I'm going into neighborhoods trying to bring the structure for a store. Let's say if the store doesn't bring what I'm trying to revenue back, trying to get my money back, right? So I can't go pay $5 million and stay stuck to that. So I want the option. Let me lease it with the option, because once I buy it, they're going to want 25% down. And that's like probably close to $1 million down. But if I lease it with the option, I'm going in with pennies on the dollar. Mm-hmm. And I still have and then there's fine lines to options. You have to write in there, okay, I'm going to improve this land. If you decide to sell it before the time or to someone else and you don't let me exercise my option, then you're going to pay me back everything I've invested on a 10 cap. What is a 10 CAP? That means you're going to make me lose the money I projected I was going to have for 10 years. You're going to pay me that 10 years up front. So if I'm saying I'm going to make 10 million in a year, then you're going to have to give me 100 million. So if you write that in there, they never go back on the contract, and they will try to wiggle it. But I love Texas because it is a handshake state. And they won't go back. Your word is your bond here in Texas. So I like that. So option periods are very important because it also buys time for you to get the financing, to make it look right, to make a bank look at it. When we buy empty properties or things that are underdeveloped, they're going to develop them. And then now it's worth something. When I bought one property at 4 million and now it's worth 12, what if I would have put that down payment and it wouldn't have hit? I can lose. And the owner knows, you take your gamble, I'll take your money. That's the way it is. So that's real important on that option. So let me ask you, I'm going to ask you one and then I'm going to ask you one. In developing property, what are you seeing? Because he's building a whole community. And if y'all want something in 77076 in a couple months, one might be ready. And he's going to have stuff for sale that is affordable housing. And when I'm saying affordable housing, it's not $400,000 or $500,000. And that's what everybody is starting to sell stuff for, because I've sold it in a house that we paid probably $25,000 10 years ago. So, they're selling that high. I'm cashing out. Yeah, it looks like 400 or 500, but it's really crazy. So what is your timeline on the development? Because you're building a whole community.
Right. On that one, I mean, I'm thinking, maybe July, we should be done with the project.
So how long was it to get it going? Like for them to let you touch ground?
We're still in the phase. I think, 3 to 6 months is realistically where you should kind of put, because a lot of the architects will be like, hey, you'll be out, in a month, and it doesn't happen that way. Yeah.
How about utilities?
Same thing. Utilities the city's taking a while right now, 3 to 6 months just to get approved. I have one that took 1 year. And this is in the Heights, and we're going to break ground at the end of this month. Yeah. And, sometimes you just got to wait.
Can we follow you?
Let's go. Yeah.
I'm going to follow him with a camera.
Yeah, we're going to have hard hats. We're going to have hard hats. See about hats? So let me ask you, have you developed one from the ground up?
Actually, I have my first subdivision. It took almost 2 years, and that has to do with the county, and it depends if you're in the county or the city. Yeah. So make sure when you're doing your due diligence,
for the county,
find out how difficult is the county, because my two subdivisions, they are in the county, but the counties have different rules that you have to comply with. Mm-hmm. And so one took us 2 years, the other one took us 6 months.
Okay. Yeah. So now your utilities, your septics, your all that stuff, because you have to pull certain taps. Taps meaning if you want to go to the city, or if you're going to have to end up putting a water well. Yeah.
With the one we're doing, we're going to have to do a septic.
Oh, you've got one. Yeah, that's right. She just got her first property this is the first one, right?
Yeah, we're hoping to do a duplex.
Yeah.
On that. And then he's going to do all the construction.
Yeah, that's good. So but I think you could get away with the duplex on one well, right?
It depends
on the square footage.
Say yes, Billy.
Yes, it depends on the size.
On the size,
and how many bedrooms. So that's another thing. So when you are acquiring raw land, make sure that it's in Texas, it's half an acre for a regular septic, and then if it's smaller, you have to do aerobic.
Write that down. Write that down.
It's smaller. It's
smaller than half an acre. You have to do aerobic, and it's
Amber Alert.
It's a little bit higher, but yeah, it's
Oh,
amazing to do
your
the
soil
land.
testing too.
Oh,
A lot of
God,
people don't do
soil
that.
tests,
Do your soil
yes.
test, do an environmental check.
Mhm.
There's a lot of things that go into it.
Yeah.
Me, I have to go through it for me
Yeah.
to learn it. Like if he
Yeah.
tells me, I'm not gonna know. I have to actually go step by
Yeah.
step, and then I'm like, okay, this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
Same here. I mean, I don't, I just want to go, but
I know.
I had someone that's partnering and kind of mentoring me, and you want a free mentor, partner with them.
Yes.
Hey, let's do this deal together and just partner. Bring your knowledge. You have to bring something to the table.
Right.
I have the
Sure.
construction knowledge,
Yes.
but he's a developer, and
Mhm.
we just kind of go hand in hand. So
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
a really good point that he brings. You can partner with anybody to do
Mhm.
like, hey, you bring something to the table, they bring something to the table,
Right.
and that's how you make money. A lot of
Mhm.
people like choose to lose the deal because they're like, oh, well, no, this, that, like, hey, we'll
No
partner.
quiero que ganes de mí.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
Actually,
people
my
don't
fa-
want you to can you hit that up? A lot of people don't want you to make money off of them, but you have to understand, do you want to do something, or you want to just stay there with your ego? Your ego don't pay you. Your ego don't pay you. And you have to understand, a lot of people, I get dead wholesale deals. Why? Because the fact somebody couldn't sell it, I'll get it.
me too.
Yeah, those are the best ones for me.
I bought something. You're like, why?
Yeah,
Why?
those are the best.
Hey, I don't even ask why. I'm like, just sign here, Billy.
No, those are the best ones. Hey, I couldn't do nothing with it. I'll figure it out. People won't buy it. I'll figure it out. It's there, So you have to be creative, but you also have to understand that you're not going to learn everything just by listening or watching somebody.
Mm-mm.
You're not. You're going to have to get in. You have a question?
Yes. From Marcos, it's been very difficult for me to search for a bank that finances land. Any recommendations to find a bank that finances land?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different hard money lenders out there to get your feet in. That might have to be your solution, but where are you going for your lending on land?
Private money.
There you go. Private money.
What about you, Billy?
Same, private, or I'll just raise capital.
So
But,
whenever you say private, because some viewers don't know
Yeah.
what that means, what do you mean by private?
So for example, the development here, I pitched the whole idea of the construction. So, because we have that relationship, they're already ready to go. Like, hey, you bring some money and we bring some money, and I got the whole loan up front.
Nice.
I'm paying for something that I don't have yet, but it's future.
Yeah. A lot of people have money and they don't have the idea and they don't have the pull behind it. The one thing Billy has is he has the construction, the knowledge, the experience. So it's a no-brainer for somebody with money to partner with somebody like that, because there's no fail. And you see that he has his own thing, so there's no fail. But somebody just coming in, it might be a little bit harder, but you got to get your feet wet. You got to go and partner with somebody in some kind of way, shadow them, get the experience in wholesaling. Your experience is, and real estate, in real estate in general, your experience is your resume. And no matter what you do in life, it's a resume, because people will not gamble on you if you don't have some type of experience or some way to get out if you get into a situation. You have to be bankable in a certain way. Now, there is a way. Yes, you can go into wholesaling, no money, easy, but you can't just buy a house, no money. There's 25% down.
Mm-hmm.
That means if you're getting it at 100,000, you expect to put 25,000 down plus closing costs. See, and that's where it's misleading. But always remember that if you're going to purchase, you're going to put anywhere from 10 to 25% down. Some people might even say, I'm only going to cover you at 60. That means you're putting 40%. Yeah, most banks will.
Like to tell TDCU and Bay Credit Union, both of those credit unions, they'll lend, but 65%.
Yeah.
So you'll put TDCU and
Yeah,
Bank
TDCU
Union.
and
I think it's
Bay City, right?
Bay City. I think.
Yeah.
Bay
Bay City.
60%.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's going to type that into the comments, the TDCU and the Bay Bank.
So whenever you're gonna do the development, what are the things that or like, just say for a new construction, what are the things you look at when you're buying the land before, like, hey, can I do the new construction there?
What I do is that I take the land before I put it on the contract or buy it. I do the research and I take it to my group of engineers. They tell me, yes, it's a go ahead or run from it. So
That's awesome. And when they say run.
So it's nice. It's good to have engineers.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing here.
Yeah.
Take it to them. They're looking at
they will tell you because they know what the county or the city requires, and then you don't get stuck with a property that you can move.
Nice. That's good. Yeah. So I'm sure that's a great nugget there because I'm sure people are like, hey, so now I got to just find the land and I'll build. So now you have to make sure you take it to an engineer.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, just take it to an engineer to look at it and make sure it's good to go.
Okay.
There's a couple of questions of people asking if there's a coach I recommend so they can start getting in the business or.
I think if you're barely getting in, you need to shadow somebody. And Andrea and I have agreed on shadowing people, but you have to make yourself available because it's not that we don't want to waste our time, but we don't want to waste our time. You know, there's a lot of people that you'll see them with me, you'll see them with her, you'll see them with him, you see them all over the place, and just look and watch. That's because those are overfilled with knowledge, but no power. You know what I'm saying? You're going to know a person that's not, investor hopping. You got bar hoppers, right? But you got investor hoppers. They want to go and suck you dry out of whatever and then go and project the knowledge, and they're not doing anything. Literally, like, we're doing shit. You got a panel of people that are really doing shit, and you got people saying they're doing stuff and they're not. And, I'm not going to just go and call them out. I respect everyone's hustle.
Call them out.
No, I respect everyone's hustle. If you did a deal, you did something. But if you did a deal, you're not coach ready because you don't have experience in everything. Show me what you've done. Show me what you've done, and I'll tell you if you're worthy of coaching somebody. Now, somebody asked, last night I got hit with 5. I need a mentor. I need a mentor. I need a mentor. I've told everybody, I can't be your mentor. I would rather let's meet up. Let's mastermind. Let's JV. Let's do something like that. Because if you put in your effort, your time, your money, you're not going to waste my time, and I'm not going to waste yours.
Yeah.
That's the way we are, Billy, Alma, Sonia, everybody. Sonia's a buyer. So you have to make sure you're bringing deals, and it's okay if you bring us a dud deal. It's okay. That's what we have to wait for. But when the money, like one time when Andrea was selling me properties, she went off on me. You remember that day on, what was it, Priest? She fucking went off on me. Well, you want this shit or not?
Oh my God.
I said, sorry, you little mofo. Hey, and in the middle, Christina, guess what she did? No, but the thing was, that's that. Andrea's very aggressive and assertive because you got to know, because on wholesale deals, it's a timeline. It's a timeline, and you could lose your deal with somebody who's just a flaky buyer. Yeah. There's a lot of people say, I buy homes, but you're not even ready. And a pre-approval letter doesn't say that you can buy. A pre-approval letter just says, okay, yeah, we're thinking about lending them. But if you bring a dud deal, you just wasted her time, my time, and everybody's time, because the lender, it's up to the lender to make that final decision on inspection, appraisal, and everything else. So just because you walk around with an approval letter, that's different. Now, there's people that go and they'll show an approval letter and they're like, yeah, I got it. Oh yeah, you got it. I go show my cash. And that's only when I'm mad. But the thing is that you have to understand that just because you have a pre-approval letter doesn't make you a buyer, because there's people that they opt right out, and that's what the option period is for. But be very transparent with your buyer and your seller. Okay? Because I was dealing with a guy that had a property and he's like, I can't show it. Well, how in the hell you want me to sell it? Now, back in the day, Andrea would throw me something. I'd be okay. I mean, sight unseen. But this ain't that type of This ain't that type of rodeo anymore. Material is so high.
To him too, sight unseen.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's not that type of rodeo no more. The construction has changed. The price of material has changed. The shortage on material has changed. If a house needs a beam, I'm like, there's no beams. People are literally pasting.
I was about to say, you can make one.
Yeah, they're making them, but will they pass certain inspections? That's the thing. You can get it now. If it's going to be your rental, cool. But if you're going to try to get it to pass an inspection, no. And it's funny because a glue lamp is wood together, but it's stamped certified. It's like if I go make something, it's engineering. There you go. And that's the thing. And it's not what it used to be. So you have to know when you're out there saying, I buy houses, be honest. Be honest. I'd rather deal with somebody that says, hey, I'm wholesaling houses. I'm liaisoning, or, I'm providing a service. Yeah. A liaison is a person that's it's the person in the middle, in the middle. It's the person in the middle. Hey, I talk to her and she tells me what she wants. I find your property. It's the same thing like wholesale. You're matching the buyer and the seller.
Last time I got like tangled in a deal where it was like literally 5 wholesalers that were going to get paid in that one deal. I'm like, what? But I mean, I guess it's just come down to like everyone.
It's come down to that, because a lot of people are saying you can co-wholesale, and I co-wholesale because my co-wholesale is more because I have buyers ready to buy. My buyers are in California, Florida, even Dubai, bro. Like, I mean, I'm dealing with those people. Hey, Christina,
take a trip over there.
I want to, really. I'm gonna tell you about that one. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna count you. I'm gonna hold you to that. No, but seriously, like, those are the people that really are buying because their feet aren't here. And I'm gonna tell you something. I love lazy investors because they just want us to do the work for them. They want us to think for them. They want us to help them. And, and some of them, it's not that they're just lazy. They don't know, like Sergio.
Yeah.
He didn't know this was his first one going in. But there's people that have money, and I call them the lazy investors. They're like, show me what you got. If I'm not going to do it myself, I'll be like, hey, do. And she trips out because I'll walk off with like 30, 40, 50 grand. And he's okay because they know that they're going to make the money in the long run. 30 years from now, they done made about $560,000 in interest. People are working for 30 years to get a $200,000 pension or retirement. But you're guaranteed on one property, this is what you're going to income.
Right.
So that's a whole nother rodeo. But man, this is some
you
shit.
Can always do something like Sergio.
He
has a lot of sweat equity.
Yeah,
he was at the property picking up trash to learn. So about the mentor, I mean, I did that.
Yeah, he did it.
I broke concrete. I've done everything because I want to learn. I was there. I remember I went to an investor here in Houston. I was, hey, can you teach me? He said, yeah, go to my office and sit there and just learn. And I did do that, and I did learn. And I what I'm talking about. I learned owner finance.
Yes.
And very blunt person, but you learn that way. It's I mean, I think that's how you should do it. You just go in there and figure it out. Yeah. Sit here with Andrea.
Yeah.
I was gonna go say I'm gonna go sit with you.
No, or some people want to learn. Here's the list. Start calling.
Right, for sure.
Start for me, and whatever you get, we'll partner.
Well, and too, like whenever I told Billy, like, hey, I want to do the new construction, and I know that he knows, so I'm like, hey, I brought the land. I'm like, hey, let's, you can do the construction for me, but I'm not like literally sitting wasting his time. Hey, what are you gonna do, Billy, if you do this? Like, I'm actually. Let's do it, and and that's how we feel like, hey, if you guys want to partner, bring the deal, and then we show you rather than us showing you, and then we got to go back and like, oh, what was that again that we have to do? And it's like, just bring the deal. That's the hardest part.
I want to mention something about that question is that you go to YouTube and follow these girls right here and listen and go back and consume all the content that they have there. And then when you have a question, whenever you're ready, just come and say, you know what, I am good for this. I can be making calls. I can be your foot on the ground. I can go take pictures for you and add value to any one of us here. And so that way you're going to get a mentor without paying right now. How you're going to be paying is with your time, with your knowledge, and just add value.
Right. And another thing is Alma is trying to get a group together so that we can get a group discount to go to San Antonio for a hell of a training, because sometimes we need that boost of energy. Walking in here today and I heard Jasmine talking, I was like, listen, Caroline, because you don't know what to say. You can take all the classes, but if you don't know what to say, you'd be amazed at what people say. And sometimes it's just breaking that fear, breaking out of that, what do I say? You took the whole class and you haven't done a deal. I went to an event the other day and I was speaking and I was looking in that crowd and I was like, shame on you. I saw so many of those people that went to when me and Andrea had first started, we were all sitting at a table. There was 2 people at that table that were sitting right there trying to learn. It's not the learn. It's not the education. It's the implementation. Are you going to move forward with what you have? That's it. Put your money where your mouth is. Your mouth is your money, because nobody knows what you want until you profess it, say it, manifest it. And there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you overanalyze, right?
Yeah.
When you go to too many of these events,
Yeah.
What you said earlier, there's some people out there teaching, they've done one deal. And, I've seen it. I mean, I look you up. I'm going to look you up. I'm going to look up your business and see how many houses, what you have.
And on that note, finish that.
Yeah. You look people up. But I remember I went to an event too, and it was like a small guy. He did one little class. He taught about, what did he say? Knocking doors. And I did it. I went to knock doors. I trained another guy, and we bought a street of houses. It was a wholesale. If I was knocking doors, I would have never found that way.
Yeah.
Because there were a bunch of vacant houses. I went to the 6 houses. She's like, oh, yeah, I own them all. Wow. She's like, I want to just owner finance. I did owner finance at that time and sold everything, So, yeah, you have to get out there. You have to do your own stuff. You can't just rely on mentors and stuff.
Right.
And like I was saying, on that note, where he said he'll look you up, okay? I'm going to tell you that I was standing at an event and I was talking. And somebody said, oh, Christina has over so many doors, right? And the guy said, he stood up real proud, right? And it's funny. You have to know how to react instead of me going out there like a wildebeest and pop, shut your damn mouth. The thing is that this is exactly what he said. He goes, well, I looked you up and I don't see your name on all these properties that you claim. I said, oh,
really?
Yeah, I'll tell you who that was. And then so the funny thing is I have to react in a very calm, professional way. I said, well, people, just like that. That person right there is why you should have an LLC, an S Corp, or something like that, because you have your nosy rosies out there always trying to check you out. And those are your slip and falls, and those are your ones calling in the city. Those are your haters. Not that you're a hater. I'm saying that. No, but those are your people there's people that will deliberately want to hurt your come up. So sometimes you have to be quiet. My husband, her husband, sometimes even Billy, don't say it. It's not worth saying, but we really want to share. Genuinely, we want to share. And, we're not asking for nothing. We don't need nothing, but we want to share to see people succeed and not make the mistakes. But anyway, on that note, what I ended it with, I said, all right, guys. So just like that, that's exactly why you need to invest in an LLC. So people like that can't find you. He sat there for like 2 minutes, red, sweating, looking like an idiot because everybody just kept looking at him, and then he left. But the thing is in order to get that elephant out the room, you got to call the elephant out. And that's what happened.
Talking about, haters and stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I don't post or do any of that stuff because, you see it's been a while since I posted.
Yeah.
So I used to put my stuff out there and I noticed AC's missing, cities coming, like all kinds of stuff.
Yes. No, it's true.
Sorry, that was me, Billy.
So I stopped posting and that stopped. That problem went away. And even with the LLC, don't put everything on.
Hey, I sold him the deal and then I'm taking his AC from there.
Yeah. Don't put everything on one and don't be like, Franco Properties, Franco Investments, like that, I don't know, Reynolds Wrap Investments. I don't care. But the whole purpose of those things is so that it's not discoverable. Okay. The whole thing of your registered agent is so it's not going to you. They collect the complaints. It's very important because I have been hit in so many directions by people sitting right next to me. And then everything surfaces out, especially you have an attorney. It has to be surfaced. Where's the proof? Where did it come from? Who's your person? There you go. Okay. A lot of people say, oh, they ain't going to tell shit. I always find out. And then you'll know. And then you'll know. But the thing is that you have to prepare yourself. And when you're doing, all these sales and stuff, don't let the IRS and all these things catch up to you. I had that issue. Yeah. Because the fact that, I didn't know how to do the paperwork. I didn't know. And penalties for everything you made, you're giving away because penalties are higher than what you income. So really educate yourself with people who are built right, doing right, and you'll know that they are by what they have. And a lot of people say, show me the HUD. It ain't the HUD. It ain't the HUD. See who knows your name. See who knows your name. And whoever's talking shit about somebody like me or any of these people at this panel, walk away from those folks. Walk away from those folks, because I will lose peace by just listening to somebody ear fuck me. Like, well, I said that. I mean, shit.
That
yes.
sounds pretty wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It just fucks up your mind. I'm sorry, but it just really messes up your mind. You really don't need that, especially when you're trying to be motivated and drive, and somebody hit you in that direction. You lose peace, you lose sleep. You want to tell that person when someone's in the middle, but you want to be both friends. You're not a ping pong. We're grown. We're grown, and that's just it. So.
You have a question?
No, it was Ricardo saying he get out of houses for free all the time.
I get Ricardo. He's crazy. He's going to be doing something on the 10th soon too. And
I'll put in a plug for the taxes. My brother-in-law he owns Leja Tax Service.
Okay.
Yeah, he's helped me a lot. So
okay.
To do taxes.
He's right here on what is this? Antoine and.
Can you write that down? Leja.
Armando Leja, that's his name.
Armando Leja.
So he sets you up good with it, where he knows how to do everything.
He's a realtor as well. He's an investor.
Perfect.
So
he knows the write-offs.
Yeah.
You know how they say you can't go to a foot doctor for your eyesight. You're gonna run into everything. Yeah. So somebody that's like that, that's an investor, knows a certain write-offs, knows a certain brackets. Believe me, we're a whole nother lingo when we're in this stuff, because we need to find certain write-offs. And yes, you do have to show you're making money. You do, but you need to invest that money. You're not making money. People like us, we don't have money in the bank. We have it invested. I mean, everybody's like, don't say, you have money, because no, I have money invested. It's not in my bank. When I had money in my bank, I was broke. Yeah. But when you have money invested, it's no one's business. And that is what you have. That's the only way you can, that's your gem. That's the only way you're going to make it. And
remember, the cash flow is king.
Yes. Cash flow is king all the time. Yes. But you have to make sure that you are leveraging out that money. You've got to leverage, because honestly, with the bills I have, some of the rents I get,
it's like breaking even.
It's breaking even. And in the first couple years, you're going to be breaking even on rentals. That's why it's important, if you can, buy right and get that equity out and move on to the next deal, so that you can multiply that cash flow. I pay
on mine. I want two of mine.
Yeah.
One's 1,000 and one's 200. I pay every month for them to rent it from me.
Really?
But I know that my equity is there. So when I'm ready,
nice.
It's gonna
you mean the difference?
Yeah, I pay the difference. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's not, you're not always gonna make money on that, but you have to have a reason for it too. I'm not, you're not gonna.
Yeah, because there's either the equity or the cash flow.
Yeah. Yes. But honestly, if you have that equity, and it's like a lot of people go and put money in a tanda. When it comes back to you, it's in a big chunk, and that's what you want. And the one thing I like about
Do you really?
Tandas? What?
Big ones.
Big tanda. I want to be in your tanda. I want to be in your tanda. That's another story.
I learned that from my mom. So my mom had dollar stores.
Hey, how to do tandas?
I remember it.
Well, we're learning everything.
What is that? She's like, oh, it's where you put.
This is a bonus, guys. Right? This is a bonus.
I met a lot of big meat, what is it? Like little meat market owners. And these were $100,000, $200,000 tandas. So, some of these businesses, a lot of them do it. They do these big ones.
Yeah. And that's badass. I've been in 2 or 3 little tandas, and when it came back to me,
that just adds to his resume. He also does tandas.
I don't do them. I'm a part of it.
Yeah.
Give us the plug, Billy. Give us the plug.
There's a lot of big, Spanish. It's big in the Spanish culture. There's a lot of big businesses that do that.
Really?
20,000 a week.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
the residual. It's when it's your turn to get that money back, and it's crazy. It's a different world. Yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story. I did one, right? I did a $50,000 one, but I created it because I needed funding to buy some land.
There you go.
So I was like, hey, I'll take number one. I'll build it. Bought the land, free finance, and I had the money to pay it.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to be real creative.
Hey, there you go. Do a tanda to get into investing right there. You get your money back.
That was a bonus tip right there.
That's a creative way, though, to really.
Y me hablan para las tandas.
Yeah, but that is a good way to really find people to work with. Those are your private money. You can take them like private money lenders. They're putting their money in the pot, getting what they need, they get it back. you know, but always remember that Texas is a percent state. So even if it's a half a percent, you need to go ahead and say that's in there.
Yeah.
And it can be. Yeah. It can be. Yeah, we got in trouble with that for doing an owner finance with no interest. It came back funky. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it came back funky. In order to do a loan, a cash loan, it has to have a monetary amount behind it. So it can be a 0.5%. And then it's okay because it's supposedly illegal. I got a very big property that was it was going to be no interest. It's not supposed to be. It has to be at a 0.5%.
Didn't so know you're that. Saying that someone who gives you the property as no interest? I have.
I don't. I don't say that. I'll just leave it alone. Yeah, but I'll show you that one. Yes.
What about if they add the interest to the price?
If they add the interest to the price, that's fine.
Because there's a lot of religions that don't allow interest.
Yes, we were talking about that. Yeah, and you can add the interest, and sometimes it's so crazy because they're paying way more anyway. Oh yeah. But yeah, they can add the interest to the loan. But
I sold a house like that. I sold it for $150, and I sold the HUD for $250. So I asked the guy, I was like, "Hey, why are you?" He said that his religion didn't allow it.
Yeah.
But there was an interest. I was like,
$100,000. You know which one's like that? The one in that we did, it was in 084. They did that. They added the interest to the house because it shows that they bought it for like $300. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't get $300.
I didn't get my money.
I know, right? I told you to put it for $300, Billy. No, okay. But yeah, that makes sense now because I saw that, but it must have been their religion.
I think so, yeah.
It is. Yeah, there's some, but you do have to add some type of percentage, and so there is that with the religion. You can add that, and you're okay.
There you go.
Yeah, but I didn't know until we ran into it. Yeah.
About Tanda.
Yeah, we're underground nation here.
What kind of show y'all running over there? It's really creative.
Yeah.
You know, it's how you were saying that lease option. That one deal that I told you that we're kind of doing like a novation on, that we have it on the market. That's what I did. I just said, hey, I'll just lease the house while I fix it, and then I'll just sell it and just pay you. And I did I don't even know if you're like, I don't even know what that's called, but I did it that way. But it's a creative way, you know, like I'm paying him the rent while I'm fixing the house. And
and when people say they want to do, and when people say they want to do creative finance, don't be scared of creative finance. Create your own. That's it. Be creative. You know, that's it.
Pitch it. That's
people are very scared to pitch stuff, but you have to just think, how can I make this work for me? That's creative finance.
I pitch things. I don't even know if there's a such thing to do that, but I'm like, it sounds good in my head, so let me just pitch it.
You get me?
And then, do you understand me, Mr. Seller? They're like, huh?
Disclosures.
Those really good. Yes, those T's and I's. You really have to watch those T's and I's because of the fact that, like I said, in Texas, you can write it the way you want it. There's some things you can and can't. Majority of the time, if you agree to it, it's a contract. Yes, and they will respect that here, and that is what I like. And there are certain states that you can't wholesale. There are certain states that you can't even, do certain lending, for owner finance. There are certain states that have certain things going on, and so you just have to make yourself aware. And like they said, even with like me, I get houses that have garages, and I already say they're garage apartments, and I turn them into apartments so that I could turn it into a duplex. Andrea's fixing to do that, and Billy's going to do the construction. So knowing what county, what city, so that you can do it, because just because you projected that in your head, always make sure that you check with your city officials first, because you will lose that property if you're not generating and you're paying, because you're like, well, I could get 1,000 here, 1,000 here, 1,000 here. And then when you go out to, to start it, it's not going to happen. So you just lost that 2,000 a month. So you're in your negative, you're in the red. So there you go.
I've created a note pitching stuff like that. I told this guy, hey man, let me pay you monthly. And then I did a balloon in a year. Yeah. So what I did is the total price of it, that was a down payment that I asked another one. So I had nothing in it. The down payment paid off the property, and then it's a 20-year note.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you something. It will make sense to a landlord or just someone who inherited that just doesn't want the headache anymore, because it can be stressful if you don't have your systems in place, if you don't have people in place. You have an apartment complex, and you're on a chill or like a hotel or whatever, and you're on a chill system and everything, a beautiful hotel, no air condition, so all that stuff. And imagine having to do package units. And right now there's a shortage in air conditioning. Yeah. There's a shortage, like right now.
There you go. We'll let them know.
Yeah. Everybody. Yeah. I mean, you better have an emergency mini split there.
My brother has an AC company, so I know it's a shortage.
Yes, it's bad. Like yesterday, they were gonna do 3 installs, and my son was saying, "Mom, there's no returns. There's no this. There's like what?" So I started calling for him, and they're like, "No, we're short." I'm like, what the hell? Like, I need to go to China. See where in the hell they're Turkey. See where they're making these and get them. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Because of COVID, everybody is making up for stuff that wasn't done. And then right now with transportation and the import export, we're in logistics. So we know we got held up. We got held up a lot. Things coming into the port, and then how slow things are going. And then people not working. It's a big mess. So everybody, some people are like, well, right now's the time to chill. No.
Right now is the time to.
Right now is the time to
build stuff that they're not importing, or like ACs. Like, hey, well, maybe we should come over our own AC unit.
Girl,
take advantage. I know. I always like to
mini splits.
That's
a great thing.
Those are great things.
I put them in rentals.
Yeah, and it's easier. It's better than
they're better because they're cool.
Yeah.
Like I'm cold.
Yeah, they're safer. They're safer than window units. Yeah, with the way the times are going right now, I think mini splits are safer and they're more visibly nicer than window units. Yeah, and they cool a lot more because they're central. If you have a 2-bedroom here and a window there, but you can set it up to where it blows. It's just different. I mean, it's airflow. There I go with that now. Airflow. No, but honestly, guys, what do y'all want to share? What do you think that is a good pointer that each one of you would like to share to give off to people?
You want to go ahead?
Sure. I say get out there and do it, man. Don't wait. I mean, get the free education on YouTube and then go out there and do it. Because new construction, for example, I didn't know anything about it. I really wanted it. I talked to a lot of people. A bunch of doors closed. They're like, no. And just one random guy, I saw him working on a house. I got off. I was like, hey, man, do you own it? He said, yeah. Long story short, now we're partners.
Nice.
And it had nothing to do with no networking. I just got off the car and
I love that.
Right. Right.
And I think you guys should have him on here. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, we will. Then let me get him. Give us his contact.
We're gonna get all these low key guys out there.
I know we need.
That's what we need. The low key guys.
A lot of investors here, you'd be surprising.
Yeah.
A lot of dogs out there barking.
Yeah. Yes.
And I don't trust the loudest people.
Yeah.
And just because of that. I mean, I've been burned by some people, and it's just part of the business,
Yeah.
But I think, one key thing is get out there and just do it, man. Just do it. You can't find a deal, call me,
Yeah.
I'll try to find you one. I'm a realtor, call me.
Yeah.
Talk to realtors. There's a lot of realtors. There's a lot of deals on the MLS that people pass up. I don't understand,
Yeah.
There's a lot of deals on there as well. You can find a deal and pitch creative financing to the realtor as well. I picked some up like that. It's been sitting for a while. Like, hey, tell your client that owner finance and pay your commissions or whatever. So there's deals out there. Just get out there.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Billy.
Can I talk about wholesaling life?
Go for it.
One of the things that I recommend is just surround yourself by people who's doing things, like doers. Like this girl's right here and Billy, that he does a lot of things. So surround yourself with people like that. And also, I want to invite you to this event that we're gonna have in San Antonio next month, September 15 to the 17th. It's called Wholesaling Live. Uncle Charles, that we all know Uncle Charles and Mike. They have the biggest RIA in San Antonio, and they are bringing pretty much all the doers, nationwide doers. They're gonna be on the room. Those that have a question about how they can start, there is gonna be a full-blown training.
Right.
They're gonna teach you how to pull lists, how to do comps, how to put properties under contract, how to take them to title, how to dispose the the contracts and just create wealth. So we're gonna put the link on
we'll put the link.
We'll put the link on the chat, and I hope to see you there.
Yeah. And if you're not in San Antonio and you can go to San Antonio, go. If you're in San Antonio, because I know I have a lot of San Antonio friends that have been asking me, I am gonna go. So I'm gonna go. So we can get together on that and meet up out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
San Antonio is like the new Houston, the new Dallas. It's just new building like everywhere, like on the outskirts.
Right.
So properties that we bought for 100,000. Now they're worth 700,000-800,000.
Yeah.
Because
it's growing.
They're just growing, and people love those
and
new
it's beautiful.
upcoming areas.
It's really beautiful to find a place large enough for everybody to be able to walk around. Like Houston, we have certain streets. You have 4 good streets and the rest, oh my God,
literally.
Yeah. So, I just wish, the city would be better at, making it happen like that. But everybody wants to call their click in their spot. But San Antonio's looking really good. Yes. It really is. And it's so authentic.
Guys, I forgot to mention, you get a 20% discount. You use my code is the AF is THEAF.
And we're going to put it in the link.
Like you were saying, like, get the AF.
Yeah, get the AF out of here.
Some people, like last time I went to the bank and I was buying a cashier's check, and so the cashier didn't want to say the AF. My company, one of my companies is the AF cash flow. And so she didn't want to say the AF. And I said, wait, that's my name, Alma Flores. And like after that, she said, okay. Those are my initials. My son's initials are MF.
So okay. You're giving away your LLC.
Michael Flores.
Social 44.
Bank account 32.
No, but that's going to be an awesome event. They're really in a good hustle. I actually got to meet them, and it was very brief, but the energy those guys put off, the knowledge and the experience, their experience. And San Antonio, it is a touch but untouched market, because I know there was a different RIA out there. But, it's going to be a different crowd. I'm not saying that we're all oldie but goodies or old fogies. But the thing is that you have to understand you're going to have to stay with the flow to stay up. In order to float this river, you're going to have to really, 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 jump on that boat. And you're going to have to pay for classes, because everybody on YouTube is saying the same damn thing, because it is a catch. It's a hook. Yeah. It's a hook. But you want to get with people that says, hey, I'm going to take this day. I'm going to show you. I'm going to this. I'm going to that. Let's do it. And I can trust that they're going to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uncle Charles and Mike Janas, they are doers.
Yeah.
Okay. And they have, no sé cómo se dice, pero ellos dicen work with us, not for us. So when you're working with them, it's like you're JVing with them. Yeah. So you're not an employee of theirs. Like if you hustle, you get your
that's how it's commission. That's pretty much what we say. Like, hey, work
JV.
with us.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people are probably real timid to work with me and Andrea, because the word's out there that we're fucking oops, there goes again.
I wasn't gonna work with her first.
Yeah. No, that we're kind of tough. It's not that we're tough. It's that we have no time for bullshit. She's got 4 kids. I've got 8 grandkids. So it's like, it's different. And I want to spend as much time with them, because you don't know what tomorrow may bring. You really don't. It could either be a financial crash, a life loss, anything. So time is very important to me. And one of my biggest companies is time management. And it's a company. And the thing is that I learned that a long time ago, because I missed out on so much coming up. And you can't feel regretful, because I look at where my kids are today, and each one of them are millionaires. So to me, it's very important. I did it. I built my legacy coming up, and it was off of sacrifice. And let me tell you about sacrifice. I was probably at every Coney Island, James Coney Island on the 99-cent day, or the free taco day, or the free hot dog day, Chuck E. Cheese print a coupon day. My kids ate for free half their life.
That's funny.
The thing is that was the struggle, and the struggle was real. And you have to do what you can to make it work, but you don't want your kids to feel the stress, because they're not going to want to do what you do if it looks so bad and stressful. I think now it looks more stressful because it is a lot bigger, but coming up, it wasn't stressful because we didn't see as much as we saw. I bought my first house. I stayed in my first house. I drove minivans. I didn't care. My life was very different. Everybody said I was like a Clampett from the Beverly Hillbillies. I didn't care. I had 18 dogs. I didn't care. It was like I was real ranchera, and that's just the way I was, and it was crazy. And I was involved in everything. If Grizzy has hood news, I was Chrissy from community news. I was in everything. So, and you just have to stay very focused with your family. It's very important. Build your kids, do get them involved, because later on they don't have to do this full time. Just one deal a year can put them 10,000. You're crying for $1 raise, but you could do this and make 20, 40, 80, 100,000 extra, because you don't have to quit your job to do this. So a lot of people are very timid to work, like I said, with people like me and Andrea, but we're not going to bullshit you. We're not going to throw, here's a simple thing, learn this. I don't want your money. I want your effort. That's all I want. So to work with me, you have to show the same amount of effort, because I want people higher than me or at where I'm at, but I look up to people much higher than me. Everybody, brings something to the table, I think. Preach.
Yeah. We're gonna have people like nationwide from Phoenix, like from our group, or one of my mentors is coming to the event. Sonia Ray is gonna be there. She does training with Ricardo. Ricardo Rosales. And Alex from Allen is gonna be there. Mucha gente va a venir, and they're gonna come like all over the United States to San Antonio. So if you guys are just a couple of hours away, please invest in yourself and surround yourself with those people that they are doing deals.
Important.
Yes. So that way you can meet them and you can see that it's real.
It's going to be easier to work with people like me, Billy, Alma, and Andrea, because now you're bringing the knowledge. We don't feel like, not that I shit on anybody, but it's very hard for us to explain something when you haven't even learned the basics. There's people that I'm like, hey, just watch these videos and then come and ask me what you thought, and we'll go from there, or I'll send them to some of these other people, teaching, or like, the hustle. If you can do it, go. Make that sacrifice, go, and then, come to us when you're ready, in that aspect.
I've bought people out that wasting my time. I'm like, you know what? I don't think partnership works. Here's a check. I'd rather make no money, because, I mean, time is valuable. I started taking time off as well because of that, because you never know. You never know. But if you guys need a realtor, call me.
There you go. He's the net listing. There you go. Contractor, I reassure you.
I highly recommend Billy. He does all my listings. He helps me with everything. He's my go-to guy for everything. Before I'm about to make a huge mistake, I go to him for But he guides me through everything. So definitely recommend Billy.
Yeah, and remember, guys, title is very important. Caroline, can you hit that dot? Yeah, remember that title is very important. Who you're insuring through, make sure you're not. That insurance is very important, because when you're closing a deal, I had an insurance quote that was $4,800, and yes, I need to close right now. I'll put his information in the link too. Just at closing, he saved me like $2,600. So it was like, oh shit, like, you take things for granted, and it was the same exact policy. And I even had a little bit more coverage, and it was over $2,000 that I saved. And that money could be carpet, flooring, lighting, we'll probably say lighting and then flooring, but all that stuff, you really have to analyze those things and make sure that you get a cheat sheet and a budget. Do you have a cheat sheet for your budget?
I mean, the mental.
It's a mental in him. Yeah, I have a small cheat sheet, and I'll probably, if you want it, just put your email there, and I'll send it to you, or just say me, and I'll send it to you there.
Yeah, I can send one too. I have one. I don't use it, but
yeah, something that we could give you so that it's something you don't miss, because you could miss one thing, and that's going to be what screws up your whole budget. Because $50 will throw you out of budget, and it's out of budget. Once you start working to make something work, it's not working. Yeah. If you're having to take from your paycheck to make it work, you're commingling and it's not working. You got to reanalyze your entire deal.
Yeah. Take your time and analyze this.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people pressure you. You got to close. You got to close.
No, wait.
If it ain't for you, it ain't for you.
Yeah. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Yeah, guys. So I want to really thank you guys. We really had this was a badass one right here.
Yeah.
This one had a lot of information.
It was a little longer, but good information.
Hey, you didn't have to drive for it. If you could push replay, can you push the scan button? I'm sorry, guys. Phone calls are always coming in, and
co-callers are calling.
Yeah. And if y'all have any general questions, Alma or Billy, they can always look in the comments and answer later, or however. Don't be afraid to ask. The only dumb question is the one you did not ask. That's what they always told me since second grade. So it's real important. But Andrea, you got anything?
No, I mean, I think they pretty much covered everything. I mean, it's just pretty much like they said, guys, go out there and take action and just start implementing one thing at a time. And next thing you know, you're like, damn, how did I even make it here?
Right, right. And remember, if y'all planning on JVing, let us know. If y'all got some deal out there you're stuck on, you need financing, let us know. And we'll see what we can do and help you. If you can work with us. If not, we'll refer you to somebody.
We're all buyers.
We're all buyers. We're all buyers. And there's a lot of people out there buying. And just make sure you don't get tangled in a web that you don't want to get caught up in. But I hope to see some of you over in San Antonio and hope to work with some of you. I think it'll be great.
All right.
All right, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.